What up, Kings fans, and welcome back to On the Kings Dime. It's 2020, a brand new year, a brand new decade, actually. We hope you had a great Christmas and New Year's break. We are back for the end of the season. We've got a video today on our defensive issues. I was looking at the timeline and had about 35 minutes worth of clips. Their 35-minute video is probably a little bit too long to go through everything, so I thought I'd break it down into as many parts as I possibly could. I might have a look through. I'm recording this pre-roll just before the Adelaide game, so I might even splice in some Adelaide stuff if it sort of comes to that. But I think there's definitely some issues now. We started the season really well. We were looking really good. I think we were 11-1 at one stage, really rocking it out. We were moving the ball really well. Had some injury troubles. We've lost Kevin Lish for a fair chunk of the season. Didi Luzardo's now injured. Craig Moller's actually a pretty big blow to this team. We've brought in Xavier Cooks and Deshaun Taylor, and they've held the fort down. Tried their hearts out, but that's been pretty good. We'll definitely be going through some of that. If you are new to the channel, like, share, and subscribe. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Go over and like on the Facebook page. This will be coming out on YouTube, so you'll be watching it on YouTube. So hit like down the bottom right now and hit subscribe too. We're going to get straight into it because there's plenty to go through here. So the first thing, all-round big men who can shoot the ball. Magno is playing a little bit of 4 and 5 at the start of this game. Hodgson had some foul trouble. But the biggest thing is just how much space Bogut's giving guys coming off pick and roll. Like he's basically camping in the lane. He did a lot of that last year and blocked a lot of shots. It was one of the main things that won him the MVP. But this season, a lot of guys are setting sort of picks around the three-point line, and they're driving in and making foul line jumpers. Taking and making foul line jumpers. If you have a look at some of these clips, like Sobey pump fakes, he drives all the way back out. There's another re-entry drive. Tossed out to Lamar, who almost drops it. And then this other issue where guys can get to the hoop and they're sort of finishing with floaters over the top of Bogut. It makes that shot a little bit harder. But guys are making it this season, and it's become a real sort of thing to practice. And the other thing is, Magne's playing a lot of 5 here because Hodgson was in foul trouble. He can shoot the 3 ball, and you can see Bogut doesn't even come out. Look how much space he's given him here. Simple just toss the ball and just downhill. Like he takes 4 steps from the 3-point line, and that's just absolutely not on. You can see Brad Newley with his arm up there, basically gesturing, I think, either to Bogut or to Didi to rotate over. I don't think Didi could have done anything on that. But that's just a huge issue where if you can scheme to take Bogut out, like you can spread the floor, because you can see right here the same thing's happening with Daniel Kickett. It's a scheme thing. We're not player by player manning up on defense. We're actually, and here Jordan Hunter drops his mouth guard, then drains another 3. And Magna had a good night. And I suppose if you're a team letting big men shoot the ball, like, okay, you can take a night where a guy shoots the ball well. You can take a night where a guy doesn't shoot the ball, you disrespect him. I've seen Will Weaver in the timeout say we're disrespecting different guys. It's okay to do that. As you can see here, this is just a flop from Magne. He sets a moving screen, and then, JT gives him a bit of the shoulder and he flops. But this is another thing. If you look at Magne here, he runs all the way deep into the post. The post action's not on. He runs all the way back up, screens Casper. Beautiful roll here with the dime. Casper's forced to foul. But that's really poor from Bogut. I think communicatively, you just watch how much ground Magne covers here. You can't really see Bogut do something like that for us. He kind of initiates at the 3-point line. He initiates at the elbow. Or that's kind of about it. That's all he really does. You don't see him moving all the way across the court on offense, which kind of ties into his ability on defense. You look at him one-on-one here with Glidden. It's a bit ugly, man. Like, he moves his feet quite well, and a little shrug off there from Glidden, but he drains the shot in his face. You don't want him isolated one-on-one on guards usually, but here's another slant pick and roll here, just way too easy. He fumbles that, but Didi and Bogut, that's just poor communication. A little bit of that sort of on Didi, but the same sort of thing here. Like Magne handles, he's giving him way too much space, allowing him to sort of set that pick, and then he hedges, and Magne sort of just drives by him and finishes. A few of the reads aren't good, but I don't think he trusts the fact that he's kind of lacking a little bit of pace at the stage of his career. And I've just thrown this highlight. Like, you just see Kicker get blown by like this so many times. So the help defense wasn't really working on this night. But again, a big man who can shoot the ball just suddenly opens up the floor a lot more. You watch here, Sobey, I think he drives in. Oh no, Magne. This is a little bit better from Bogut. Like, keeps his ground, sort of blocks the shot, and then just a flop by Sobey. I haven't, like, guys just go into JT and then fall over, and refs say, oh, you got 100 kilos on him. Yep, foul. And it's just crazy to see. As you see here, Lamar brings the ball back out. Magnay sets another screen. And then he just torches Bogut again for the dunk. Teams are going to keep doing this. We might not see Brisbane in the finals. We might not see another guy like Magnay. But you look at this Melbourne, the Taipans have got a really mobile forward line. These teams are going to beat us like this. They're going to bring Bogut out. As you can see here, this is where we had Xavier Cooks basically playing a lot of the 5. He comes in, he forces the miss from Sobey, but it's Magnay who gets the rebound. I think Xavier Cooks can play 5. He's come in, he's rebounded the ball really well. He can block shots, as we can see here. That's just a foul. The switch, we were switching a lot just here. This was a highlight of the Casper Ware, and I thought, like, dropping shoulders into guys' face. Like, if Casper Ware goes down there, clutching his face like Kadee did on the Jordan Hunter screen, probably gets an unsportsmanlike foul there. Maybe things go a little bit differently, but ultimately, this defensive scheme, like, Bogut's off the floor here. It's crunch time. There's 3 minutes to go. Xavier Cooks is basically playing 5, and this is the first time we've seen him play 5. Brad Newell draws a legitimate charge there. The charges this season have been like, guys are moving, guys are all over the place. They just reward guys putting their heads down and just driving into people, and they give them fouls, and it kind of makes it hard for our team's got a lot. As you can see there, he comes off that screen again. Sobey with the foul line jumper over kick it. But that's a real issue. So as you can see here with the Phoenix, like, look at Dane Pineau, this offense. Like, he's basically standing there, not even expecting the ball, and then just puts up a little lefty sort of push shot. Here again, Pineau's not a go-to scorer. He's not a guy where we're going to go to Dane Pineau. He's going to shoot the ball. He hasn't really shot the ball at all this season from 3. As you can see, Madgen drives in again. I think he misses this. The ball comes all the way back out. Robertson then brings him up off a screen. There's just not too much space. And I suppose if you're not respecting Dane Pineau, that's all right. One or two times. But you've kind of got to respect him. Now we go sort of here to staying home on pick and roll. This is a real issue with guys like the premier mid-range scorers, like guys like Tariko White here. See him again, almost identical play again. You've seen it happen once. If you're Bogut, you've just got to step up right here. You've got to push all the way up into Tariko White, follow him. See, Casper's just chasing him around. You've got to step all the way up. It's a little bit lazy from Bogut. You've really got to put your hand up. You've got to get into Tariko White. Otherwise, these premier mid-range shooters are going to get in there and they're going to score the ball over you. It's Wagstaff. And this is just lazy again. Like, he doesn't even put a hand up there. Like, last year, he would have gone all the way through a guy like that. Probably as a superstar would have got the call too if he fouled him. But I think a little bit lazy. This is one where you go, okay, you gap the guy and you say, all right, shoot that jumper. It's a foul line jumper, and he misses. And you go, yep, definitely. Hunt's going to miss a jumper like that. You're probably going to bet on him missing those foul line jumpers. Norton goes all the way through, and then again rotating over Casper. Unfortunately, you can't do much on the boards, and that's also another issue. Perth do a lot of this stuff where there's a lot of movement. Tariko White steps in on the jumper, this time on Lucas Walker, the same thing. So to me, it says schematic. It's a schematic thing where your center is staying home, and he's kind of, it's kind of not a good scheme for us. If you look at, we've got a smaller power forward in JT. He's not a rebounder, and then we don't have the guards that can have. That's a lot better effort there from Bogut on that steal. And then if you watch this Hawks, this is the fourth iteration of this sort of inside offense. He's gapping Ogilvy. Okay, Ogilvy misses that shot that comes back out, and then Hobson off a pick here just drives in and shoots. Bogut really needs to step up again. We're seeing the same things over and over, really, with him not stepping up into pick and rolls. But the main thing is the drive and dump off here. Like, Emmett Nah is a pass-first point guard. We've seen him over last season and this season. He's kind of grown as an offensive talent here. This floater just wasn't in his game last year. He would drive all the way in, get scared, and then just dribble all the way, crab dribble all the way back out. He just doesn't have that floater. But the big thing he has here, you watch this, he comes off a boon screen, he knows exactly where he is. Here you go, mate. And that's a pretty easy, uncontested 4-foot floater. Something where you'd probably want Bogut to look at a guy like Nah, and go, okay, he's not scoring the ball. I'm going to go after him. Have a look at this. This is just really, really poor. It's very, very slow and lazy. You can't let Gruder lay the ball up here. Again, Nah, That's not Nah, actually. That's Glover. And then he moves his feet really well. And this is where I'm talking about guys just putting their shoulder into the defender and getting calls. And I've watched how guys do this. Like JT, 9 times out of 10, will put his shoulder into a guy. The guy will go flying because he's got 60, 70 kilos on a guy. And we don't get that call. And it's really painful. I think that's kind of switched around a little bit. That was a nice jumper from Boone here again. You're probably living with that Boone jumper and another Boone jumper he's hit too now. You probably don't want to let him hit that shot anymore. Here we've got Blanchfield again. You don't want him shooting at the perimeter. And then this is Nah again, driving all the way in. He's looking for Boone and then sees the floater on because Bogut doesn't push up. Illawarra played this perfectly. Like, you watch the best way to beat us. They did this with us with David Anderson last year. He knows exactly where Boone is. There you go. 1 step for Boone. That's probably a foul as well. He doesn't get that. You're just going to see the same thing again with Emmett Nah driving all the way. Boone sets a screen. He knows exactly where he is. Have some of that on kick it. The same sort of thing. So the dump off is sort of killing us. We've got the all-round big man who can shoot. That's killing us. We've got staying at home on the pick and roll. Mid-range guys are killing us. That's just a clean block, but somehow that's a foul. Glover, shout out to Glover. He's come off 3 knee injuries, I think. 3 knee reconstructions. Still hitting the deck and getting up quickly. Again, the switch. Bogut just caught in no man's land. Sean Taylor this time having to guard long Boone. And he just sort of lays this in. Emmett Nah goes all the way around. Bogut, I've already done you with passes inside. I've done you with floaters. Here's have another floater basically from about 8 feet just outside the key. Boone again initiating offense. Nah, this is just poor. It's a nice steal, but Boone, he knows exactly where Boone is again. Just dumps it off to him. And then we've got, another one here. I got a bit of an itchy nose. But Nah goes all the way in, lays it in over kick it. Kick it, you've just got to go, right. Most guys are going to score around kick it. That's just a non-issue. But it's guys like Bogut where, I don't know if it's laziness, whether he's playing a little bit of rope-a-dope, trying to keep his body fresh, preserve himself for the end of the season. But it's a genuine worry that he's really not having the defensive impact that he had last season. And again here, look, that's a block you expect him to make. Probably, and then again, Boone with a jumper, he doesn't get out quick enough. But the real worry to me is Bogut just doesn't have enough left in the tank. We're going to have to see him really up his intensity. He gets a block here, which is nice as well. That's really the big issue is Bogut's got to really make an effort to step up. He's got to guard guys at the 5. He's got to push all the way out. At the same time, I think it's got to take a buy-in from the other guys around him. I think we might see a little bit of Xavier Cooks play 5 at the end of the season. We're going to see Will Weaver throw some schemes, maybe sort of get Bogut going with offense. Brad Newley's got to try and wedge down and get into guys that are driving as well to sort of help. But I don't think this Bogut sort of standing here, standing in the paint, blocking shots is really helping this defense. That's 3 of the biggest things, I think, highlighting in the first video. This is part 1, remember. I think it's not me going, man, this is Bogut, like what's happening with Andrew Bogut, this is a problem. Bogut needs to pick his socks up. It really looks like it's the scheme. We've seen Kickett do it, we've seen Hunter do it, Lucas Walker's done it. I think it's something that Will Weaver's got to turn around. He's got to work on in the next probably 6 to 8 games. Perth's going to come around again. Melbourne, I think we've kind of got their number a little bit. We've played quite well against them. Sean Long's really only a rim threat, a dive threat. He likes to finish at the rim rather than catching those dump-offs. But it's going to be a real issue, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see Will Weaver work on that over the next few weeks. Now, part 2, I think, is going to be defending the 3 ball. We've had some issues. They sort of come into effect with the diving, and the Bogut not stepping out is a similar thing to why guys are shooting 3 balls. But we'll go over that in the next video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe all the way across the bottom. Make sure you go to Facebook and you look at Facebook and you like us on Facebook. It's really late. It's after the Adelaide game where I'm finishing this up. We really appreciate all the support, and hopefully we'll see you guys next time on the King's Dime.